Yo, what up? This is T Money, and you are now watching the T Money Podcast joint. We in the building as usual. Peace. What's going on, Stacks? How you?
What's going on, T Money? Happy anniversary.
That's right.
I figured I would dress up a little extra.
I see you.
You know what I mean? Stacks Sriracha.
You're actually getting your Diana Ross on. I'm not mad at that. You know what I mean? Let's sing some songs.
Ain't no mountain high enough to keep me from getting to this dope show that's about to happen right now.
Right now?
Right now.
Not later, but right now. Woo! Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. This gentleman, I respect 100%, 150%. He's been a staple of hip-hop from almost the very beginning.
Yes.
It's my pleasure to introduce the great Ralph Mc Daniels in the building, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
What's up, brother?
Hey, yo, happy anniversary, man.
And thank you very much, brother.
I appreciate this, man.
We put this, so you know, we put this, I put this podcast together just to celebrate icons of the people that, you know, the people that actually supported the music and were part of the culture from the very beginning. And you know, having you on today is,
hey, look,
you know, it's what it is. You know what I mean?
Coming from you and everything that you've done, I highly appreciate it, brother.
I thank you very much, Ralph. Thank you for being on. So,
Yes, sir.
so what we gonna do today? We're gonna talk like we usually do when we have guests on. I mean, we go all the way back because, you know, some of our viewing audience might not necessarily know Ralph or Chuck D or DMC or you know, Master Ace or, you know, whoever.
DMC is not my brother. We're not related.
Because of the McDaniels, right? One day I wanted to ask D. I should have asked him. I said, "You guys cousins or something?" You know, but
We did. We had a conversation once because, you know, D is adopted.
Oh yeah, I know. That's right. He didn't know. That's right.
And he was trying to figure out who was his biological family.
Right.
And he called me and he said, "Can I ask you some
He
questions?"
literally called you?
Yeah.
Wow.
He called me and said, "Can I ask you some questions?" And he was like, "All right, cool." He said, "I don't think we're related."
Oh wow, that's crazy. I didn't know he would actually called you. That's interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty
And
interesting.
salute to D, man. You know, he came. His interview was off the hook. But speaking of you, so talk to me, man. You know, most of us know your lineage, but we're gonna take it back. So you were born in Brooklyn,
Brooklyn
right?
dude,
You're a
yeah.
Brooklyn guy, right?
Yep.
And then you moved.
Queens Village.
Moved to Queens Village.
Yeah, we moved to Queens Village, Hollis. It was the beginning of black folks moving into Queens in that area.
Right. That's when they said the Russell and them moved in for the same kind of migration.
Same thing.
Time.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's where they put the black people. They put them in Hollis, or they put them in Queens Village. Because my father, he was feeling himself. He wanted to live in Jamaica Estates where, you know,
Oh yeah, right.
all you know, rich white people.
Rich
were.
white people, no
And
question.
and they were like, "No, you're not. You can only move here. This is where the
Ah,
black people
you can
come.
only move there.
Only. That's
Wow.
it. Redlining, they call it."
Whoa, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
And so, you know, and we was fine. It was a house. We lived in, you know, my grandmother owned the building that we lived in Brooklyn. So we always were, you know, protected in that way.
Right.
Now we had a house with a garage and, you know, and space.
Some land too.
I could ride around.
Right.
I had my bike. I could move around.
Right.
Just riding around and getting it. Okay.
Right. My
early.
grandmother was like, "Okay, come back here. That's too far.
That's too far.
You're going too far."
You're going up the porch too far.
She's a Trinidadian. It was, I could
okay.
only go like 5. I'm like, I just went like 5 houses away.
Right,
I got to
right.
turn back around.
Right. I'm on my bike. I want to explore things.
Yeah, I'm ready to move around. The girl is down the block. I want to see what's going on with her.
I know that's right. I know that's right.
I just want to ride by on my bike, like, feel me?
Right.
So what? So when was this? What years?
That was in the 60s.
In the 60s, right?
Yeah, that was 70s. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Queens changed a lot, you know, during those early years of the 70s.
Well,
man,
I tell a story, and, you know, people were shocked, is that the first time I ever got called the N-word was in Queens.
Wow.
I never heard that word in Brooklyn.
Never.
Never. You know, like, maybe because, you know, we couldn't go when we were kids, too. But that was the first time I ever was called the N-word, and it was this lady, when her son was sitting on the stoop, right, maybe 5 blocks away from, houses away from me, and she said, "Look," and the kid said, "Look, Ma," and I was like this. Wow. What is that? What does that mean? I just knew it wasn't good.
Wow.
Right.
Of course, it wasn't good to be
It
positive.
didn't sound good.
It didn't sound
the
good.
tone of it.
The tone of it.
You picked it up.
Right.
Right.
And I came back around the house, and I went to my mother, and I said, "Look, the kid down the block called me a bad word," and so
Right.
She said, well, what did he say? And I said, the N-word. And she was like, we moved from Brooklyn to Queens for a better life for our son. And
not knowing that you were running into
now we run into
racism.
A whole another thing that we never even dealt with before.
Right.
So she was like, okay, well, nothing happened, right? I said, no, I didn't. I just kept on running.
Right.
So, come to find out, me and the kid become friends. Later on, we playing baseball and football in the street.
Oh, okay.
And we never even had a discussion about it after that. Like, I never, confronted him about it. He never said it to me again.
Right.
We used to go in the backyard and box, right? And so I didn't like to fight, but one day it was my turn. All right, Ralph, you got a box. And it was against him.
Oh,
I beat his ass. I beat his ass up. So
as you should.
That's right, redemption right there. Even though he ain't say nothing, he knew nothing. It's about 5 so don't say it to his face.
When I got the gloves on, I looked at him and I was like, he's the one that called me the N-word.
Right.
He's gonna get it.
Right. Bong, 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 bing, bong.
Right. I was like, oh, I can.
See, his mother probably told him not to say it to your face afterward. Thinking that you'd forget about it, but we got the redemption there. That's fine, bro. So talk to me about. Okay, so you're in Queens.
Yeah. I played football.
You played football.
I went to Bayside High School.
Oh, you went to Bayside. Okay, I was going to ask you what school you went to.
I went there to play football.
Right. Well, Bayside has
the
a
kids
good team,
on my block played football there, and that was the school you got to go to if you want to play football.
Right.
And I lived right down the block from Andrew Jackson. Yeah. Which is where Ed is from.
Of course.
Ed Lover.
Yep.
And
I just drove past there last night, and I was hearkening my LL Cool J when I drove past.
Right. LL Cool J album cover.
Right.
Andrew Jackson. So I lived right there, but I wanted to play sports. So I went to Bayside. I played football, played basketball, and I went to high school with Mayor Eric Adams. Me and him were in the same class.
Oh yeah, I think I heard that before. Right? Yeah.
So we became friends. He's from Southside, and I'm from what they call it, Shadyville now.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what DJ Who Kid calls it.
Yeah, Shadyville. Yeah. Oh wow, that's great. That's very interesting. So
Queens is interesting.
Yeah,
it's different. Ed was in a crew of DJs, Cypher Sounds.
Ed Lover, Cypher Sounds, yeah.
And I had my own crew, and it was like a battle of who had the best equipment, who got the records, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. I don't think we ever battled Ed, but they were known. Me
and Dre had that same dynamic with Keith Shockley and them. The Spectrum and Concept.
That was the thing, right?
Yeah, we had that crew. And we had a whole. But see, the thing with us is that Long Island. It's split. Queens is split too, but we're in different sections.
Yeah,
most people in the boroughs think Long Island's just one piece of land. It's divided into counties, just like Queens and South Side and the North Side. You know what I mean?
Hempstead.
Yeah, Hempstead, Uniondale, Westbury, Freeport. All the places where the ethnic people reside. Wine Dance where Rakim and them are from. Brentwood, where EPMD from. You know what I mean? So. So we had that dichotomy with Keith and them. But Keith and them were big Spectrum, and we had our own thing over here.
Yeah,
that's when we came together through the radio at BAU at the
right. Yeah, it was a little vibe. You felt yourself.
You start feeling yourself. Yeah, you can DJ. You got chicks. Everybody's around. So
I tell everybody, look, I don't care what you tell me about hip hop. You wanted to be into it so you could get the chicks. I don't give a damn what nobody tells me. I wasn't trying to be the best. I wasn't trying to make money. I was just trying to let that girl look at me like, oh, she sees me.
Yeah, she see me now.
She saw me.
That's right. If you play sports to get the chicks, and
that's all it was about.
That's right.
For the guys.
So what do you think it was about for the girls?
Probably the same thing.
Same thing.
You think so?
Yeah,
no, that's not true.
Not the same kind of vibe, but it was a different energy.
It was about
the money. Okay. Women was always about money first.
Right.
No, they be about the guys too.
Oh, okay.
Hearts be all broken and everything. So but it's interesting to sit here and hear that mostly all the guys wanted to do something to impress the women, but then when we're in front of you, y'all act like we're not there.
It's the same thing now.
That's
do you honestly think if there were no women? To backtrack, get on this point. If there were no women here, men would have no reason to buy new cars to be fresh, to smell good. You think I'm joking?
So y'all gonna be like cavemen if no women are around?
Almost,
basically.
Because there was
you ever went to a man's house back in the day, and you'd be like, how's he living like this?
Right.
Oh, because there's no woman
There's
around.
a woman
So
to
the woman comes
impress.
around, she's
Right.
like, you didn't clean up, you didn't da-da-da.
Are you kidding me? No
got in
way.
his feelings and got everything fresh.
Right.
Okay.
Unless you're born and bred to be that way as a
Bought
man.
you some
That's,
wine. Relax.
you know? Wow, that's crazy. He can hold that. Yo, Ralph is crazy. Yo, so Ralph, look, hold on. You went to Bayside, and then you graduated. Did you ever go to college? Where'd you go to school?
Yeah.
Where'd you go?
I went to college. I went to LaGuardia Community College first for 2 years, and then I went to New York Tech in Westbury to get my degree in communications.
All right, hold on, wait a minute. Wait, what year did you go to Tech? Because I graduated from New York Institute. Yeah,
Okay,
in Westbury.
Yeah, right next to CW. I mean,
Right next to CW Post. Yeah.
Yeah. So
See, this is why we have these conversations, because I never knew Ralph.
I graduated in 80, 81, 82. Yeah. 82.
Oh, okay.
And I started literally right out of college. Started Video Music Box.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Video Music Box
Started in
started in 83. Right.
Yeah. So I graduated 81, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 81.
Wow, that's when Tech was like
D. Seversky Hall.
Yeah, young. Yeah, right? The
And
hall.
They was this place called D. Seversky Hall. And they used to go, you should go there. They got animation and all kinds of stuff there. And I was like, I'm not interested in doing animation. What is that? Dumb?
Right,
you know, like.
Right. That's crazy. That's
crazy.
interesting. This is cool. That you graduate from the same school.
And my boy, a couple of guys from Queens. I was going to play basketball there, but it was like, I was starting to get, I wasn't showing up. I wasn't doing
Clyde
the
was
right things.
Clyde was the coach? Yeah.
Yeah.
Clyde's in he's
at Bowie State.
He's in Bowie now. Yeah.
Clyde Dowdy. I know his wife. His wife was in the same classes with me.
Yeah.
And they did really well.
Yeah, Clyde's my guy, man. Yeah. Trust me. Oh, that's crazy. So you graduate from there, and you start your illustrious career. Were you doing Video Music Box first, or were you working at the station?
No, I worked at the station for like a year. And I used to look at these shows on this. It was a PBS, kind of like a B-level PBS station, Channel 31. And I used to be like, at the end of the show, it's a public broadcasting system.
Right. PBS,
and that's what it means. And I would go like, so all these shows are supposed to be for the public. I don't see any black people.
Nice.
90% of the time.
How about that?
Nice.
And so it's in the back of my head. My parents are, we went to the March on Washington, Martin Luther King, the whole civil rights.
Positive black energy.
Yeah.
Right.
My father's about civil rights. I'm thinking the same way that my father thinks. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, something's wrong. But I don't know what to do. So one day I went to one day these tapes came in and it had black artists performing on it. It wasn't music videos yet, because there was no music video.
Yeah, of course not. No.
And there was no cable. Cable didn't exist. And so then I said, look, let's see these videos. And it was like the Whispers, Carrie Lucas, Shalimar, all of these, all on one label.
Right.
And I said, let's put it all together, because I was a DJ now by that time too. Let's put it all together and we had enough to make a half-an-hour show. Put it all together, took it to the program director. He was like, what are we going to do with this? I said, we can put it on TV. And he was like, why would we do this? Who would watch this? And I said, my friends would, from where I'm from. And so he's like, all right, let me sit on it. He sat on it, then he did a fundraiser, and he said, I'm going to use the videos. And right around that time, too, Michael Jackson came out with Don't Stop Till You Get Enough. One of them
Right, his first album.
Yeah. And so he played that. Place was going crazy. The phones is lighting up. It's a fundraiser. So he said, wow, that really went well, Ralph. So I was like,
duh.
Right. So I was like,
you don't know the culture.
I knew that. So I was like, okay, I did something. You didn't quite know. So what does that mean? Am I going to get extra money? Like, what's about to happen?
Right.
And nothing happened. He just said, that went well.
Oh, wow.
And so I was like, all right. And then a couple of months later, this guy came up and he was like, I'm going to put together this show. We're going to use all these tapes. And I'm like, those are my tapes. What are you talking about? And he was like, well, this is what they told me. The guy told me to come up here and do this. I said, well, I'm going to be the voice of it. You ain't just doing it. I had a job, so like I couldn't quite get crazy with the guy. And so I said, all right. And I did it. I put my voice on it. and it was called Studio 31 Dance Party. And there's like 5 shows of those we did. And it was corny. And I hated it. And I was like, nah, this is not what I wanted to do.
Right.
You're doing this. And he would have some videos that he wanted to play. And I was like, so then I went to programs, can I just do the original idea that I wanted to do?
Right.
And he was like, all right.
The one that worked.
Right.
That one.
And so they said, yeah, and that's when I put Video Music Box.
Yeah. And it all began.
And it all began. And I didn't know. It's not like now we have social media.
Right.
Or, we didn't even have ratings on that channel. Nobody even knew. There was a stack of rating books, and nobody knew how to read the rating book, the Nielsen rating book.
Oh, wow.
So then one day I was like, do we get ratings? Because I feel like somebody's watching my show, man.
Right.
And they were like, nah, nobody gets ratings here. And I went to my thing, and it said 0.1 next to Video Music Box. Nothing against all the other shows that we had was 0. And I said, what is 0.1? Oh, you got 0.1. That's like 68,000 people. Like, that's a lot of people.
Right.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? 68,000? What? So my whole thing, every book was to go up to get it to 0.2, 0.3.
0.3, 0.4.
That was the whole idea. So when I got to a full 1, I was like, oh, man, we made it.
Right. No question. It doesn't surprise me that no one at that time knew how to read the Nielsen ratings because they were... It was like, I don't know, reading calligraphy.
Right.
No one really understood it.
No, and nobody ever had a Nielsen box in their house.
No, never.
I don't know to this day anybody that ever had a Nielsen box.
No.
I'm like, well, who are the people that have these things? Well, there's these people, they just put them out there randomly. Well,
Right.
who are they?
Right.
I've never met any person.
No one has there's no face. There's no face to that, which is totally
Some
ridiculous.
Shit they made up.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
Just tell us whatever. Like, just believe us.
So now you're doing this. This is.
That's why 2024 the truth will be revealed.
Yeah.
But, this is what we're dealing with right now.
Yeah.
Because we've been listening to so many lies. They tell us stuff, like, no, you got to do better.
Vision.
You're not doing quite there. You know what, T, we think that you should do this, or Stacks, you should do that. Like, no, it has nothing to do.
We have our own vision. We don't need your opinion. You know what I'm saying?
Come on, man, stop it.
So
your vision worked from the very beginning, and it changed a lot of people's lives. Your show has inspired so many careers, and I'm sure that we're gonna get into that. But I'm happy that you stuck to it, and you've been successful for so many years, and so much has come out of it. So congratulations to you, and thank you for giving me something else to watch other than, what was it, the after school thing that used to come on
Channel 7?
Yeah, that was boring. And Hot Tracks. I used to watch Hot Tracks.
Hot Tracks.
Right?
Hot Tracks came on before me.
They say sure
did.
Came on 2 months before me.
They did,
sure
but
did.
here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about Hot Tracks. Hot Tracks would hardly play any black artists. Like,
Yeah, it was hard to get.
and I would watch the whole thing. I could tell you who came on: Billie Jean, Michael Jackson, Billie Jean, Lionel Richie all night long, Donna Summer,
Give it to me, baby.
Rick James.
That's right. That's
and
right.
I don't remember anybody else.
Right, point of
I don't think point was
Right,
taken because
right. She
there
was
was
all for the money.
nobody else was on there. Just forget about it. That's it.
That's it.
Well,
no,
you
but I'm
know
just
what
saying
it was?
that was
Because
it.
It was a network. It wasn't us necessarily doing it, even though Carlos De Jesus was a really smart guy and he was on KTU. He came from radio, but he's a radio guy, so he's kind of doing it from a radio perspective. I didn't do mine. I did kind of think about radio when I did it, but I knew that when I started doing the shout-outs and all of that kind of stuff, that was TV. I had to go out and do that, and I just wanted it to be, like when you watching my show, like sometimes I would sit home and watch my show, and I'm like, people watching this, they know somebody black produced this thing.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know that.
Yeah.
Just on the way it was said, things were said, the edits,
I loved when you went to the parties. All of the parties that I couldn't go to, I was
Yeah.
like, ooh.
That was a big part of
that
Video
was-
Music Box.
that
Because everybody was
huge.
really into going when you went to the events. That was, and then you were there on the scene.
Yeah, because you couldn't,
different.
if you were young, you couldn't go to the party, or your parents were like not allow you to go anywhere.
When you were there.
You were there.
And you
were
watched.
watching the dancing, people dancing
Right,
on
right.
each other, and smoking and drinking. That's when, you could do anything in the parties back in the 80s.
Oh yeah, no question.
And so you saw all of that right on your TV set. Like, I used to go to in the train, and the train had the Pakistani dudes that ran the subway, the paper stands.
They
still
do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
100%.
that's
facts.
those dudes be like, oh man, hey, video man. I was like,
Yes.
how do you know who I am, bro? And so we have a show that comes on before yours called Pakistan Now. And then your show comes on. Their show would come on from 11 to 12. Then Video Music Box would come on from 12 to 1. And they said our parents would never let us watch Video Music Box. We could not watch no hip-hop.
Wow.
But your show, because it was on the same channel, they
Get away with watching it for an hour, right? Exactly. That's how that works.
That's how they got the culture.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how they got the culture.
Dudes like Jonathan Peters and them dudes, he's like, yo, man, I know about Video Music Box. Everybody tell me about Video Music Box. You came on after Pakistan Now.
Right.
I was like, least thing I'm thinking about.
You'd be surprised.
I was not even paying attention to that show.
You'd be surprised what
But
people do.
It was a news show for the Pakistani community. So it was a big deal to them.
Right.
And then Video Music Box just came on right after.
So let me ask you this. I mean, I know for actual fact that your show, to quote Stax, impacted so many lives, right? On a local level, right? And a lot of these people at the time, because you came in at a time where hip hop was changing every week.
Right.
Every week there was a new artist, there was a new label, there was a new vibe, there was a new culture. You know what I mean? Like even when myself and Dre came out with Original Concept, and that was in '85.
That was 85, yeah.
I had to talk on records.
Yeah.
Not even really rap on the records initially because everybody was rapping the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to do something totally
like you guys on
different.
Def Jam.
Yeah, Def Jam.
Because Def Jam didn't even exist when I first started. Well, it just started.
It just started. Yeah, because they didn't even have Tila Rock when you first started. They had it was just
LL.
the beat. No, it wasn't even LL. It was the Beasties. The Beasties put out a single, right? And it wasn't even really Def Jam at that time. You know, it was just
the Beasties came to the station one day.
Right.
We had like this press day, or it was like do a drop for Video Music Box Day, and they came, and they were sitting around, and we had Juice Crew over here, and some other people over here, and they were like it was all together, and they looked like we're not comfortable with this, like we don't really do this,
right.
Like, and then they kind of slipped out, because I was like, when they came, I was like, oh, Beasties are here, so like the whole thing back then was, Russell, be on Russell's good side. So this is me trying to be on Russell's good side, and then they kind of disappeared. So I'm like, where the Beasties? They were like, they said they were going to get something to eat. No, them dudes, they're gonna leave. So I jumped in the elevator and I'm going downstairs. I'm like, where y'all going? And they were like, oh, we just was gonna get something to eat. Yo, man, don't do that.
Don't leave.
Don't do that.
Don't get something to eat and think that I don't want to go back upstairs.
And they left.
So they did leave.
Wow. They left anyway. But you're right, Beastie Boys. Right. It was important to.
So my point was, I was going to ask you this question because we keep talking. But I was going to ask you, like, how did you in the early stages, you were making headway, but did you, and you probably didn't know at this time how much your show would impact the culture as a whole, right? You didn't even give that any thought.
I knew it was important. I knew it was doing something, and not necessarily just because of the music, because I was doing, like community work and social, development in between.
And you do that, and you're great at that, and you do that to this day.
To this day,
yeah,
right. And I was like, we're gonna go to a school and we're gonna talk about, teenage pregnancy with girls, and the guys, they be selling you dreams, and they just want, but don't protect yourself, and that's in between a video.
I remember that.
And it was like nobody let the girls or young people talk in that way, and so that's why young people was attracted to my show, and those things meant a lot to the community, more than I knew. I knew I had to do it because it was a PBS station. That's why I did that. Because it was commercial.
Right.
I might not have looked at it like that. But because we were PBS, we didn't run no commercials. There was no breaking up. I said, we can't just go. Like sometimes we had regular commercials like, don't do it. Whoever, Nancy Reagan. we can't run that. That's mad corny. So we got to have our own.
Right.
We got to have our own stuff that we can run in between. You know, Chuck D was doing vote, you know, and stuff like, you know, like it sounded like us.
Right.
And then people saw we would do that, they would send it to us. So that's what made us a fabric of the community, more than just the music.
Right.
You know, because when I first started doing it, there was a U68.
Yeah, I remember that.
Remember U68? So U68 was dude Steve Leeds. Steve Leeds, he eventually worked at MTV, and I can't remember what he did, maybe talent or something. But he had this channel called U68, and he used to play just rock and roll. So that's when I started seeing, like, there were other videos out there, but they were more rock and roll. And he would call me to get the hip hop stuff from it. So I would be like, all right. And, you know, I was saying, he said, you should come just do your thing over here. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. And I just, because I liked my independence.
Right.
You know, I didn't want to be
no question.
As
and we'll discuss more of your independence later
so
on.
I stayed
Let
there.
me can we get that bottle in the middle of your conversation, because we don't Poland Spring don't pay.
Oh, okay. We'll take that off. That's right. That's independence.
That's
right.
There. Well, speaking of that, there you go.
Yeah. So you know, that was the whole idea, was to keep it funky, keep it real, and make sure that we were always talking to our audience.
Right.
You know, that was the key.
Yeah, but so in line with this independence, I've noticed a lot of things as it relates to you in your career, how you've archived all your material, how you grew as a businessman as it relates to Video Music Box, how you actually have formed collaborations, and you actually put together. I mean, maybe I'm jumping the gun to a degree, but you worked and did the documentary with Nas.
Yeah.
You know. But to back it up a little bit, at some point in time, Viacom approached you.
Yes.
Right. Talk to me a little about that.
I want you Video Music Box. Oh.
No. Yeah. Before Video Music Box, I want to ask you that question because I want you to tell me exactly what transpired, because you know everybody says all kinds of stuff. They tell me that you turned it down.
No, Viacom never approached me.
Okay, so this is what I want to know, because I'm thinking that they approached you.
Never asked me for anything.
Right.
Never asked me to do Video Music Box. Fox asked me to do a show.
Oh, okay.
Pump It Up, that D Barnes did.
D's show?
Right. They asked me to do that show, and they asked me, and I told D that. And
that's see.
And so they asked me to do that, and I said, okay. And then they said, but you can't do Video Music Box. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh.
Like, I'm on every day. Y'all is once on Saturday, like, and it's national. Why? What's the difference?
Right.
I'm not doing, you know, no, we don't want you to do Video Music Box, and you got to stop doing that. And it was Fox, and the guys who I'm talking to, when I was talking to them, I said, they're not committed to Video Music Box. You know, Pump It Up was only one season.
Of course.
And that's what I thought it was going to be.
Oh, okay. So you made the right choice. You made the right choice.
Yeah. Big up to D Barnes.
Salute to D. Yeah, salute to D. I remember that whole thing that transpired with Dre and.
Yeah, no, she was down. You know, she was part of the, you know, and you know she was doing her thing. She did a great job, but I knew that corporate was not quite committed. You know how you like talking to somebody and you like,
Ralph, when are they ever committed?
I believe that's my dream. I'm a dreamer. I believe sometimes they are, but they never.
They're just never really. They're never really on the right page at all. They know nothing. They don't know the culture. They don't understand it. They don't even know how to make decisions based on it. They're like dinosaurs, bro. You know what I mean? So, I mean, and I try to have that optimism as well, but it doesn't seem to pan out for me. But it's just terrible. So now the myth the narrative that I've been preached has been dispelled. That's one. My second question to you.
Yeah, this is the one we want to get to.
This is the one we want to get to. How did you? Okay, there's an urban narrative in regards to your show that how am I to express this? That your MTV Raps is corporate and it's not for the people, or like it didn't have the same impact that Video Music Box had. It's sort of like Your MTV Raps is looked down upon.
Right.
as it relates to your show.
Right.
And I never understood that narrative, and I don't know where it came from.
Yeah,
it's kind of weird, but to me,
I think it was because, let's look at it like this. I started in '83, right?
Of course.
And
you started many years. Yeah.
1988, 87. Yo MTV Rap starts,
88,
right?
88.
88. So this is just my friends.
Right.
Just forget about this. I didn't start the rumor, but this is just my friend. Yo, how is it possible? You've been doing this for 5 years and they didn't put you on. And I would be like, I don't know. There's other people doing it now. It's not what it was in '83.
Right.
It's different now. It's 5 years later in '88.
Right.
Now, I'm not even doing the same thing. I'm directing videos for Public Enemy, Big Daddy Kane, Biz Markie.
Your
you name it.
Your MTV Rap's existence benefits you immensely anyway, because you were directing videos at this time.
But I think that in New York, and now this is also, New York is still just, hip hop is still really just in East Coast. It's going other places.
In 87, 88, yes, it's still here.
Right, still here.
Right.
So this is all we know. So all we know is the kids watching his video music about, and then Ralph's not on it. Now, I can understand how my friends feel because they're my friends. But the rest of the country, or the rest of the city, let's say, because all we can talk about is New York, is going, well, why didn't they put him on there?
Right.
And
when you say they, what do you mean, the network
MTV.
itself? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
But that makes sense in a way, because if you were already existing in doing so, why didn't they go to you to ask you?
Take me to the league.
That's why
we going to the league.
Right. Right. You're Satchel Paige. Come on, Satchel.
We going to the league.
You're the best pitcher out here.
And so, now I'm seeing Freddie first.
Fab. Okay, Fab was before us, right?
Freddie's a god to me.
Well, of course, Fab Freddie, of course.
Freddie.
Right.
I'm like, nigga, Freddie's that dude.
Right.
I've been around Freddie. Freddie know all the cool white people and
right,
shit.
Yeah, right. Freddie's part of the graffiti culture.
I'm trying to figure out, how does he
Wild Style.
Right,
everything.
he's in it.
Freddie's that guy. Right.
And so, it was one of those things at the moment, for like a half a second, I might have felt like, why didn't they call me? And plus, the guy from U68.
Right.
Oh, I skipped the major part.
Okay, well, let's get into it. Let's get into
So
it.
the guy from U68 in like 85, 86 goes and works at MTV.
Oh, he does?
Yeah. This is the same guy that wanted me to go to U68. So I said, yo, man, y'all should do a hip-hop show for MTV. I skipped the major part. I'm sorry.
You planted the seed.
Well, wait a minute. Hold on.
No, maybe
that
not
guy,
necessarily.
Well, let me hear what he has to say. Then we can.
Okay. So I said, Steve, and he goes, nah, man, it's not going to work. Like, hip-hop is not going to work in Middle America. And I'm like, wow. Well, we just taped this thing called the Fresh Fest. I want to show it to you.
Right.
It's Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash, Houdini, Fat Boys, LL Cool J. This is a tour that's going across the country. Look at the crowd. And it's half white, half black. I got the Nassau Coliseum footage. So, what are you talking about? White people are ready for this. They are ready. They're there. They're
again, corporate
Ralph,
America not understanding the culture.
Right.
Again, see.
This is 85. This is right after I shot the Nassau Coliseum, the Fresh Fest. And he goes, nah. I said, I totally disagree with you, bro. And this is the first time I'm in a corporate space where I'm like, y'all are totally wrong.
Right.
And they like, oh shit, he's mad. Yeah, because y'all are wrong.
The black man's angry.
Y'all are wrong.
The black man's angry now.
I totally disagree.
Right.
And and they were like, nah, Ralph, we understand how you feel. We know you're very passionate about hip hop. What?
That has nothing to do with what I'm saying.
I'm there.
Right.
I'm in the spot.
Right.
I see it. I was there. Look, in fact, I'm going to show you. Look at the camera. Here's the footage. And they didn't budge. So I said, all right. So then, 88. So I told them in 85, 86, 85, 86, I told them, this is what was going on. And then when Yo came on, nobody called me. I didn't, I was already into something else, so I'm directing now.
Right.
But I wasn't directing in 85, 86 like that. Maybe I did Shantae's video around that time.
Right.
But by 88 now, we in it.
Right.
We doing everybody's videos. And so I'm like, well, you know, I'm directing, I'm making videos, not thinking about video music boxes much anymore.
Right.
And, but, you know, like my friends, they're like, I'm like, relax.
Well, of course, people are going to say that. And I want to say right here publicly, if I can say this is publicly, that we collectively knew nothing about that. Nothing whatsoever. You know, we didn't, I mean, we have, I could speak for Ed and Dre myself. I don't know if I could speak for Fab, but I'm quite sure I can. We have the ultimate love and respect for you and Video Music Box, period. When we got on because they auditioned Ed, they auditioned Dre.
Right.
Peter Daugherty knew Ed. I mean, Peter Daugherty knew Dre. I mean, Ed. Right. No, wait a minute. Peter Daugherty knew Dre from DJing for the Beasties.
Yeah.
Right? Let me get that correct. I'm getting it all twisted. Ted knew Ed for many years.
Right.
I'm talking from day camp, like they go back. Like
So I'm going to tell you a Ted story.
You know what I mean? So I'm quite sure you have some, right? So, and then when the show started,
yeah,
they needed somebody to read the mail.
Right.
Right, and then they put me on the show,
Right.
and then I started doing comedic satire,
Yes.
and they kept me on the show, and then I started co-hosting.
Yes.
So that's how the Daily Show got done, and Fab was already doing this thing. When we have, like in our mindset, it had nothing to do with, I mean, I'm just thinking that Video Music Box and Your Own TV Raps can coexist.
Two different things.
Yeah.
Two different things.
Two totally different things.
So, you know, and everybody else thinks it's something else. I'm just here to tell you that this right here is famoso.
Also.
You know what I'm saying? Massive respect. So none of that thinking that, you know, we, you know, collectively are the bad guys wearing the black hat. You know, we're not.
So
you know what I mean?
so Ted, when we did Who's the Man,
Right.
right? I don't remember what year it was, the 90s, early 90s?
Who's the
Who's
Man
the
was, 93,
That was his movie.
92.
That was his first movie.
Yeah.
Right?
That was his first movie.
Yeah. Starring Ed and Dre, you,
You know,
bunch of
Ice-T,
people,
you know, Bernie Mac,
Yeah.
you know.
So Ted goes, so Ted's boy, one of Ted's boys from Long Island, Ted's from Long Island too.
Yeah, he's from
Rockville Center.
Rockville Center, right.
And so Ted goes, his boy goes, they were drinking. He says, you know, Ted stole everything from you. What? So I'm sitting there looking at the dude like this, like, what? What did you say? So Ted goes back.
Are you kidding me?
Ted had walked away.
Are you
went to the
kidding me?
bathroom, right? Just swear to God. I'm looking at him like this. What? So Ted comes back. I said, well, Ted, your man just blew you up. He's like, what he say? I said, he said, you stole everything from me. He said, you told Ralph that?
See?
Enough said. Enough
Rest
said.
in peace. God bless Ted.
Yeah,
Ted Downey.
oh wow. Well, you know what? I like I said, we still have no recollection because that was not us. So Ted stole it and said, "No, you guys need to do a video show because I have this great idea." We have no idea. So salute to Ted.
Always love here, brother.
Yeah, no
Always
question,
love.
no question. So so with that being said, so you directing videos, you did a bit, and let me talk about Lionel too. We haven't even discussed him.
Big kid.
So he came in, you know, he was doing video music with you. He's not. What's going on with him now today? Like what's happening with him?
Lionel does work in LA. He moved to LA. Mm-hmm. You know, he directed his first feature was How to Be a Player, featuring
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Bill Bellamy.
Bill Bellamy, yeah.
Yeah. And so he moved to LA and he never came back.
Oh, that's what happened.
Right.
Oh, okay. He wanted that movie money. That's
Yeah.
what it was, bro.
Yeah, I've never been a fan of LA like that. But not the people, but just the kind of business. It just kind of was weird. Excuse me. And I literally am a New Yorker, true to heart. But Lionel and I started off as DJs, and then we started a company called Classic Concept, which is a whole nother documentary. One of the first videos we did was for Roxanne Shante. I've known Roxanne Shante from the beginning of her career. I did Roxanne's Revenge, and I did her. I produced her film Roxanne on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
With
Loved
Mimi
it.
Valdez, and
That was a great documentary,
Great doc.
by the
It
way.
was.
yeah. And
It
so
was more like a movie.
It was a movie.
It was
No,
a movie.
you know,
doc.
Mashar Ali hadn't won the Oscar yet, but that year when the film came out, he won an Oscar 2 years in a row, back to back, and so we had the fact that he was in it, and that just added more value to it, when the film came out. But Shantae's story was legit; it was real.
Yeah, no question.
And then we did the thing you mentioned. You're watching Video Music Box with Nas.
Yeah, no question.
And Mass Appeal. Right. And big up to my good friend Sasha Jenkins and Peter Bittenbender at Mass Appeal. And we continue to move forward.
You did a great job with that.
Yeah. And we're moving forward on some other projects this year.
Right.
Some more movies, scripted stuff. And I'm always up for a document. I'm a documentary fiend. Like I watch documentaries on like snakes and in Africa. I'm like that type of dude. I'm like, oh wow, that's how
you like to learn.
Right.
Oh yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's like so you're learning and then you're sharing the information.
Yeah.
But you've been doing that.
Right. Been doing it. It's always been part of my
with hip hop, and then you add your PSAs.
Right.
And so now you could do a documentary about anything.
Yes.
Because it's easy for you.
Yeah. Like I'm just fascinated to know information. Like I'm like.
And those are great conversation starters. You can be in any. That means you can work in any room.
Right.
You could work any room.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do that.
Yeah. I tell people, be the next, T-Money, be the next Ralph McDaniel, be the next Stax, because, I've watched you on stage and doing stuff and making music and playing videos from you. And so when I came in today, I didn't know I was, I was like, I know her. Like, wait a minute. So it was great to see.
Well, I wanted to commend you on such an amazing memory that you have. No, seriously, because some people can't remember what they went to the refrigerator for from the back of the right. But you can put a name to a face so fast.
Yeah.
That's amazing that you
That's
could
pretty
do that.
good, right?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I forget like the
this a little while ago he didn't remember you outside.
Oh, that is not true.
But I'm just saying he didn't remember you outside, so it's all right.
No, you.
But then he said Stacks. He was like, "Oh, Stacks, that's Stacks."
It wasn't. He didn't say Stacks because I was like, I said Stacks. And he said Stacks. I was like, oh, that's Stacks. So yeah.
Oh, that was funny. Anyway,
you a troublemaker.
No. Today is my day, bro.
Troublemaker. That's right. So it's because it's the podcast birthday. I'm gonna let you live.
Okay, no doubt. Salute to you.
I'm gonna let you live.
Peace, two fingers. But I want to ask you a question. I want to hear what you had to say about this. When you came out in '83, there were a lot of rap groups.
Yes.
And
there weren't a lot, but
yeah, rap groups started popping out of the woodwork between '83 and '86. I mean, you're talking Eric B. and Rakim, EPMD, all these people talking. But who is your? If you had to pick a rap group to say you were the greatest rap group of all time, who would it be?
Well, I'm always a fan, and will always nobody. I mean, I've worked with many amazing groups from Public Enemy to Big Daddy.
That's why your answer is so important.
Eric B. and Rakim. When I first heard my melody, I was going to Baisley Projects in Queens. This is like crack era in '83, '84. It's rough. I don't even live over there. I'm from Hollis. I'm from the whole other side.
Yeah.
I'm going to see some girls.
As far as Queens is concerned, that's a totally different energy. Right.
Right. Yeah. And I'm going through there. And they see me, they know, oh, that's the DJ. That's what they would say.
Right.
That's the DJ from the Encore, because I DJ'd in the Encore. And so I had a pass. I was good. And I'm hearing, people have their box or whatever out the window. And it was late. It must have been like 10, 11 o'clock late that time. And I'm like, what is that? And I go in the girl's house or her parents' house. And I said, can you turn the radio on? She's like, no, it's too late. You can't be turning the radio on. I said, just turn it on like real low. And I'm going to put my head next to the speakers. Right. I think it was Magic, maybe Magic that was on.
Oh, probably.
I want to hear him say, who is the artist? I wanted to hear him. And I waited there, and she was like, so this is what you came over here? As soon as I heard the name, I said, got it. Okay, let's go.
Let's get to what we really.
So it's Eric B. and Rakim for you.
Yeah,
man. That's very interesting. I always thought in my heart of hearts. I mean, that's just me. Eric B. and Rakim I love, but Run DMC is the greatest rap group of all time.
Yeah. I mean, you know, like, how can you not? But
right.
The one that really, I mean, like, I saw Run DMC, like, Russell played a cassette of It's Like That. Like a little mini cassette and said, listen to this. And I was like, waiting for the bass line to come in. Right. And I was like, because everything up to that point had a melody to it. Russell stripped everything. Well, they stripped it down to nothing. It was just a beat and a mic and some scratching. And I was like, when's the bass line going to come in? He's like, there ain't going to be no bass line. Nope. And I was like, okay.
You mean LL Cool J song?
Right.
LL Cool J wrote It's Like That.
Right.
Yep. No doubt, brother.
I watched that from day one. I watched Russell put that together.
Oh, yeah, man.
You know, Davey D, DMX was my friend.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's my friend to this day.
Yeah. And, you know, and I watched that whole Run DMC go from standing on the corner on 2 Fifth Street to Nassau Coliseum with 15,000 people to 50,000 people. I was like this, like, and they all happened right in front of my eyes.
Right.
I was like, and Russell invited us to see it. So I learned stuff along the way. Like, we're gonna have a press conference. What's that?
What's the press conference?
Come, you're gonna have a press conference today. Bring your cameras.
Right.
Okay. And we went.
Right.
We learned everything firsthand with Run DMC.
Yeah. They were the vehicle. They were the staple. You know. And I have three groups actually. I have three, and you can tell me yours too. I need you to tell me yours, Stacks. You're not getting away with this.
Okay.
But I have three of my three Wu-Tang run, and my obviously I'm a homer. I got my good friends, Public Enemy, of course. You know, but so you tell me your three, and I want to hear your perspective. The reason why is because you're younger, so you came up in an era where groups started fading and they were individual rappers at this time. So tell me what you think. It's important.
Okay. Only 3?
That's hard. I told you to give me, if you had to pick one. I just said 3 because I'm just letting everybody know my top 3.
Pick one.
I picked one.
Ralph picked one.
You did pick one.
Make a decision.
Just think about it.
All right, fine. Then okay. Then you know what? Then I'll go with Eric B. and Rakim because I
Ralph
always
picked it? Because Ralph picked it?
No, because Rakim's voice was like no other MC still. He performed at the Coney Island concert, and I was in the front rocking with him hard. Like I wrote those songs with him, and that was this summer. That was over the summer. So I'll say for that reason, because he influenced me as a rapper and as a writer, and I've learned how to like really write bars and stuff by listening to him. I'll say Eric B. and Rakim.
I am truly proud of Rakim, Long Island native, who influenced the world, bro.
You should be.
No question. No
You
question.
should be.
Peace to the God.
Peace to the God. That's right. Ralph, thank you very much for being here today, my brother. I so appreciate you, man.
Oh, it's over. Oh, man.
I'm happy.
We gotta do a part 2 for Ralph.
Yeah,
man.
you need a part 2.
I'm here. I'm ready, and it's an honor, and I'm glad that we cleared up a lot of things because sometimes, you know, like when I did the documentary with Nas, they were pushing this narrative, and I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Like, I don't have a issue with any of that.
Right.
And with the whole, you know, Yo MTV Raps and videos about, and I was like, no, we're not going to do that. And this is Viacom who's producing it.
Right.
And Viacom was like, well, we don't want to push it too much because Yo is still a brand that we own.
Right.
And I tell you this, it's like the amount of great work that you guys did, you know, I always wanted to be independent so I could own that. And when the guy said that to me,
I respect.
When the guy said that to me, you know, he was on a conference call, and I was like, yeah, right. So you own it. You know, that's what you're trying to let me know. Just like you own that part of my documentary because you guys put the money up. And I was like, I've been trying to stay away from y'all for my whole career.
And now you're back.
Y'all got my documentary.
right.
But it's all good. I had to tell a story because, you know, it's at that time, you know, getting a little older. Let's tell a story.
Let's tell the truth. 2025, let's tell the truth. Yo, peace, love, and hair grease. This is T-Money in the building. Stacks Cadero.
You know.
This is Diana Stacks. I'm sorry, Diana Stacks.
I'll take it.
You know, look at that. Okay, it's all good. And my man, DJ VJ, Ralph McDaniels in the building. Thank you, brother.
Yes.
Love you, man. Thanks for being here.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yes, our 2-year anniversary, man. Check out these shows, man. Yeah, and keep watching, you know. Love y'all. Peace, 2 fingers. We out. Podcast joint.